Hello all, welcome to CRS Info Solutions. In this session, we are going to cover about approval process. So approval process is a kind of automation process where you can approve the record. So even you can do the approval process by using the manual submission also. And approval process can be defined in the sequence of steps. And in approval process, you will be having the actions called approved, rejected, and recall. So actions in the sense if you wanted to approve the record and if you don't wanted to approve the record and if you want to recall the record. So that is the actions. So basically, if you wanted to get approval from your higher authorities on discounts, on any reimbursements or any timesheets. So on that time, we used to prefer approval process. So approval process can be done via Salesforce org also, or you can do the email approval also. So let's see a small demonstration how to use the approval process. So here, to configure the approval process, search for the approval process in the quick find box. Here you can find this is the approval process and to which object you wanted to configure. So now, so here we have accounts tab. So in that accounts tab, we have a list of records. So whenever you can wanted to get approval for this record. For example, for this record, there are so many fields. Whenever I'm going to get new record, so consider that I have a status for a specific records. Now, whenever the state rating or whenever the rating field becoming cold, I want to this record to get approval. So we can configure in this way. So to track the status, what I can do is I'll just create a new field in the account. So just go to the account and you can go to the fields and relationships and you can select new and you can select the pick list and you can select next. Here I'll just give it as approval done question and here you can enter the values as pending, yes, no, and this can be done by using your based on requirement. For time being, I'll just give it as like this and you can save this field. Now here we can see that field as approval done in all the records. So if I go and create new record, so here it is. So now whenever the status is cold, so this account I need to send it for approval. So any specific accounts I wanted to send it for approval. On that time I wanted to change the status as pending. So once the approval is done, I want to give the status as yes. In case if it is rejected, I want to change the status as no. For that, I have created a custom field. So let's see how it can be configured. So now you can select account and you can create new approval process. Here you have two options. You can use Jumpstart wizard or you can use standard setup wizard. So in Jumpstart Wizard, by default, Salesforce itself having some setups. If you wanted to set up all the steps manually, you can use the standard setup wizard. So as of now, I'm using Jumpstart Wizard. So here I'll give it as account code approval. So this button, which will helps you to submit the record manually, and if you wanted to track the history of approval, you need to enable this. So for those flexibility, you need to enable this one. So in case if you wanted to use any templates for approval assignment, you can use it. So the specific person can be get notified by using this template. Okay, so for now, I don't want any templates, so we'll just straightforward take care of the approvals. Now, here you have a account approval done field, not approval done rating field. So approval rating. So this is the criteria. Whenever approval becomes cold, so on that specific time, I wanted to send this record as a approval, right? So now I'll can choose the approver by using these three options. So one, I can choose it manually, second, auto assignable, and third, also auto assignable. So this is auto assignable due to the standard or custom hierarchy, and this is the based on the user. So I'll go for the third, and this is based on the hierarchy. So in the third one, for now I'll use me as a approver since there is a limitation of Salesforce license. Okay, so let me save this record. So once you save this process, it will take you to the approval process to configure it further. So still it is not active. We need to do some settings on the actions part. So the first action, what is my record action is, uh, so whenever this record has submitted for approval, so suppose I'm creating a new record, I'm saving it. After saving, there would be a approval submit to approval button. So in case if the rating is cold, the submit for approval button will be enabled. So once you submit for approval, I wanted to keep this status as pending automatically. So here you can go and add the field update. So I can use as pending status, and field to update is account approval done. Change this status as pending. So this is the step one. So, and if you wanted to add any additional steps, you can specify here. Now I'll add the final approval actions. So let go and add the field update. In case if the record is approved, I want to change the status as yes. So change it to yes. In case if the record is rejected, I want to change the status as no. Okay. So now the approval status is done, and We have something called as approval tracking history. So, like in Flipkart or in Amazon, if we are in couriers, so if we place some orders, we have a tracking history. So, on that, like similar, we have a approval tracking history. So, before that, if you wanted to see the approval tracking history, you need to place it in the layout. So I'll go to account page layout. So here you can see related list. So in related list, just make sure that this approval history is there. In case if it is not there over here, you can drag and keep it. So wherever you want and save it. So now all our looks good and we can activate this approval process. So now it is activated. So let's test it out. So now I'll approval test account. I'll create a new record and I'll make this status as cold and I'll just save the record. Think there would be some mandatory fields. So let's fill it out. So let's go and check what is the validation that we have it in the account. Account validation. So here this all should get satisfied. So for time being, I'll just deactivate this and let me save this record. So here I'll go to details. So now here you can see the status is this is a default status provided by Salesforce. Actually, it is not chosen automatically. So so consider that for time being, I'll just choose something and I'll save it. So it is empty right now. Now what I will do is here you can see a button called submit for approval and you can check it out like this and you can select send. So now here you can find this is automatically changed as pending. Okay. So now if we go to related, here you can find this approval status. So once it is submitted, it is automatically changed as pending. So here you have an option to approve it and here you have an option to reject and recall it. So if you wanted to approve, you can go ahead and click this approve button. So looks good. It is approved. So you can find any comments and you can submit it. So now here you can see this status is changed as approved and in details section you can go ahead and see the approval done field changed it as yes. So now in a similar way instead of logging into the Salesforce directly we can approve it from the email. So let's see how we can do that. So for that what I am doing is so you can search for process automation settings. Here you can see a field called enable email approval response and save it. Now let me create one more record on the accounts account 2 and I'll change it as cold and save it. So right now you can see approval history as 0, and this is empty. I'll just go ahead and submit for approval. So here the status is changed as pending. Here you can see I have received a approval request. So this is a email approval. You can do it by using these words listed by the Salesforce. So if you use approved or S, it will get approved. If you use remaining, it will be rejected. So for now, I'll take yes. I'll just reply and I'll just reply as yes. So we can test it out. So now the status is pending. So let's wait for a few seconds. So here you can see it is automatically changed as yes. So this is how you can approve the record by using approval process. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.